Hello and welcome to Math. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you tuning in. We've got some fun stuff to do today, and not something entirely new, but we're going to take something that we have learned about and we're going to kind of push it a little farther and see if we can make even more sense of it, okay? So as always, make sure you've got your scrap paper, your pencil ready. Pause the video if you need to, and when you're ready, we're going to start off with another puzzle, okay? So here it is. It is obviously a minion themed puzzle today. You can't go wrong with some minions. So, take a few minutes, see if you can figure this puzzle out. Pause the video, obviously. And remember, my suggestion from before where knowing where to start or finding where to start is often the trickiest part. So don't always assume or think that you have to start with the first one. In this case, it'd be like the one on top. Take your time, allow yourself to think deeply, to think slowly, and see if you can figure out who each of these or what each of these minions are worth. Okay, so pause the video, and when you're ready, you can unpause it, and I'll walk through my solution with you. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at our minions here. And again, more adventures in writing with a mouse. Hopefully, I'll get better at this as the year goes on. So I look at this first equation and I see 4 different minions, or I think that guy's a minion and maybe he's something else. And there's no way I can figure out what they are because there are so many possibilities. I'd be here for days and never know which one was the right one. So I don't want to start there. I do see this right here. I see 1 minion here, and then I see that this guy plus 10 equals 22. Now, it's nice with addition because it can kind of go either way, but remember that this side of the equal sign has to be the same as this side. It's like a balance in science, right? So whatever he is, when I add it to 10, it's going to give me 22. So what number plus 10 would equal 22? 12, yeah. So this guy is 12. So I'm going to fill in. That's a pretty bad 12. That's okay. So I'm going to fill in some 12s wherever I see them, and that's going to help me get started. I'm not done, obviously, but I've got a good start because I can either go down to this middle one now because now I know that 12 plus something is 13, or I could jump down here because, again, I see only the hula minion to make 4. So whichever one you did first is fine, and you could have done those first instead of what I did first. Lots of ways to approach this one. So I'll jump down to the hula minion here. I know that whatever he is, minus 3 is 4. Now, don't get caught in that trap of thinking this is 4 minus 3, right? The 4 is on one side of the equal sign. Everything is on the other. So something, when I take 3 away, leaves me with 4. So what number would I start with, take 3 away, and I would have 4 left over? Yeah, that's 7. So our little hula guy is 7. So we're getting there up top. We still have 2 more to go, though. So now I can jump up here to this middle one. 12 plus our rubber ducky guy, I don't know, whatever we're going to call him, is 13. So what plus 12 is 13? Yeah, you probably knew that, right? That's 1. So he is 1. So I know that one more, there we go. So if I add up all 3 of these minis, it gives me this fun purple looking guy. So what is 12 plus 7 plus 1? This is a good example of maybe doing things in a different order when you're adding. That might help. I know 7 plus 1, yeah, that's 8. And 8 plus 2 is a 10 fact. So 12 plus 8 is 20. So this fun looking guy is 20. So my final equation, that's not a very good 20, but that's okay. 12 plus 1 plus 20. Well, 20 plus 12 is 32. One more is 33. And I'll even try to throw you a smiley face. So there you go. I hope that was fun. We do a lot of these puzzles. They're great for problem solving. And yes, they are a sneak peek of algebra. Woohoo! So again, hope it was fun. And now would be a good time if you want to pause, take a stretch break. Because again, I don't want you sitting and staring too long. So this is a great time to pause, get up out of your chair, stretch, get a drink of water. Okay. And when you're ready, you can just keep going and keep watching, and we'll see what we have in store. All right, little refresher. This is something you've done in the past. And we've done a little bit in 5th grade. We haven't done too much, but we're going to just kind of remind ourselves. So expanded form, I have this number 69,372. This is currently in standard form, which is what we call that. That's like just like the normal way a number is. We want to write it in expanded form where it's, we make it bigger, where we break it up into each of its parts. So pause the video, write that number on your scrap paper or wherever you're doing your work in expanded form. And then when you're ready, unpause it and you can see if what you have agrees with what I have. Okay, so 69,372. This 6, I'm going to start there, usually work left to right. So that is worth 60,000. So that is 60,000. And writing with a mouse, I'm getting better. Okay, now I'm going to add it to the next part. What's this 9 worth? Yeah, that's 9,000. It can be helpful to actually, again, say the number out loud. You often will hear what you're talking about as you say it. We said 69,000, so 60 and 9,000. 372, well, I just heard a 300, so that 3 is 300. And then 70 and 2 are the last 2 parts, and there you go. Okay. It's not the neatest, and it's not going to win any handwriting prizes, but it is broken up into expanded form. And you remember doing that, right? Again, we've done a little bit of it in 5th grade, so I think you're pretty well versed in that. So I don't want to overdo it. That's why we're only doing 1. Okay, so we just did that. Can we do it with a decimal? What do you think? I mean, we must be able to, right? Otherwise I wouldn't be asking. But how would you do this? I'm going to challenge you to see if you can do it on your own. What would you come up with on your own? So again, pause the video, try it on your own, and then see if what you have is the same thing as what I have when you're done. So, but think it through. There's no harm in being wrong, okay? Mistakes are how we learn. They're how we grow our brains. So take a shot, trust your instincts, and see what you would do. So go ahead, pause it, and then when you're ready, you can keep going. Okay, so 58 and 3/10. I'm going to start this just like there wasn't any, I'm just going to pretend that's not even there for a second, okay? Obviously, it still is. I can't just get rid of it just for make it easier, but I'm going to pretend it's not there. I'm going to worry about it when I get there because I can do this pretty confidently. I know that's 50 plus 8, right? Because that's 58. And again, that's something you've been doing for probably 2-3 years. So that's nothing new or earth-shattering or anything like that. But we've got one more part here. Well, what have we done so far? We show that this 5 is in the tens place, which is 50. We show that the 8 is in the ones place, so that's 8 or just 8 ones, right? Well, what place is the 3 in? It's in the tenths place. It's like tens, but you're holding your tongue, tenths. So we have to show that it's in the tenths place, and we do that by making sure we have the decimal point. So we just have, we've got 3, but it's not 3 ones. That would be over here. This is 3/10, which is right next to the decimal point, to the right of the decimal point. So we're going to make sure we include our decimal point. So we have 50, 5 tens, 8 ones, and now 3/10, which is 3/10. So don't let that little dot, throw you off or make you think you've got to do anything like different or special. We just have to show what place each one is in and how much they are worth. 5 tens is worth 50, 8 ones is worth 8, 3/10 is worth 3/10. That's why we have the decimal point there. Okay, let's try another one. So do me a favor, challenge yourself. See if you can read this number. You can say it out loud if maybe mom or dad or grandma are there. You can say it to them or read it to them. You can say it in your head, obviously, but see if you can read that number. I'll read its correct name in a second. So no cheating and saying 590.37 because that's kind of like the cheating quick name, but what's its real name? Okay, this number is 590 and remember that decimal point says and then what is after it? 37, and that's not in the tenths, it's in the hundredths place. So we say 590 and 37 hundredths. Okay, but let's do the same thing. We're going to write this in expanded form. So let's start left and work our way right. So we've got a 500 in the hundreds place. And we have what next? We have 9 tens. I almost said ones there. Sorry about that. We don't have any ones. So you have a choice, and I'm sure you remember this. You can put a 0 if you want. It's up to you. If you like having that as like a placeholder, cool, great, use it. If you don't want to have it there, if you just prefer to save the space, totally fine as well. Either ways, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make it right or wrong. There isn't a better way or not. It's totally personal preference. Personally, I usually don't use the 0 just because I like saving the space, but that's just my way. Doesn't make it the best way. Okay, so again, now we're into the little more unfamiliar territory here of the 37 hundredths. Well, you still do the same thing. Go piece by piece, part by part. We did the 5, it's 500. We did the 9, it's 9 tens. There were no ones, so we kind of did a 0 or skipped over it. What is this 3 worth? It's 3 tenths, so we have to put it in the tenths place, and that is to the right of the decimal, so it's 0.3. Okay, now what I can't do is do this. Okay, I can't put 2 digits in the same group, I guess you could say. That's not how expanded form works. That'd be like me doing this, 590. You know, that's not really expanding it. That's just almost like rewriting it. So I can't just do that. So I have to show that there's another digit in another place value. So add another plus sign, and we're going to add another part to this expanded form. So we've got the 7. So I know I'm adding a 7, but what is that 7? It's 7 not tenths, it's 7 hundredths. So how do I show that this 7 is in the hundredths place? This might be a little tricky, but I bet you can figure it out. How far away is it from the decimal point? Again, here's the decimal point. Here's the 7. How far away is it? It's 1, 2 places over. So I have to show that. So I'm actually going to show the decimal point, and I need to have a 0 showing that there are no tenths, and this is in the hundredths place. So that 0 is a very important 0, just like these zeros are important too, because it's showing it's not ones or tens, but hundreds. So we need this 0 to show that this 7 is in the hundredths place, not the tenths place. That's why there's no 0 here, because the tenths are right next to the decimal point. All right, this is new. Hopefully it's making sense. If you're still a little unsure, that's okay. It's new. We don't become experts on something after 5-10 minutes, especially if 5-10 minutes of watching a video. So allow yourself time to think, to make mistakes, and to ponder and wonder, okay? We'll do one more and we'll call it a day. So this is your kind of ticket out of here. So I have 814 and at 6 tenths, it's not in the tenths place, that would be here. This is 6 hundredths. So 814 and 6 hundredths. So pause the video, see if you can write this one in expanded form. And then when you're ready, unpause it and compare what you have to what I did, okay? All right, so again, work left to right and just go part by part, piece by piece. What is this 8? It's 800, so I'm gonna make 800. Okay, next part is a 1. That's 110, obviously. So I need to make a 10. And then a 4 is in the ones place. That's plain old 4. Okay. And again, don't just write a decimal point. What's my next part? I have 0, so I could put 0 tenths. I usually leave it out, so I'm going to leave it out. It's up to you. What is this 6 worth? It's 6 hundredths, so I have to show it 6 hundredths by including a decimal point, and then again showing that it's 1, 2 over from that decimal point. So to show that, I need to have a 0 next to it, and then the 6. Okay, so this one actually does look like we just copied it, because you know there are no tenths, kind of like when we did the other one where there were no ones or tens or whatever it was, almost like we copied it. So we have 810 and 4 and 6 hundredths, okay? So we can do expanded form with numbers that include decimals. There's nothing different we have to do. We just have to pay attention to what place they're in and where that decimal point goes and all that other stuff, okay? We will practice this. You will be better at it than you are right now. That's how things work. The more you practice, the better you get at it, okay? Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you soon, whether it's on Zoom or in class. Take care.